fine. I could digitally look at my bank account and its lack of numbers.
I do kind of miss it a little bit, not gonna lie. Like, you know what I mean? Having like actual money in the wallet.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that.
I have some euros.
You know, it's funny. I actually have pounds that I really need to bring back.
Yeah, I've got my wallet's got, I think, 100 euros.
The problem is, like, you know, back in the day when you go to the bank often, it was easy enough to like return shit. But
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I so rarely go to the bank where it's like, well, you know, oh wow, that's terrible. All right, let's zoom out. Oh, not that one. Where is? Oh, there you are. Let's zoom out a tad. Okay, let's go up. Wait, am I already? Oh, that's dumb of me. Hold on. I'm gonna reset my camera. Don't freak out. Blah blah blah.
Ah!
I know. All right. And now, okay, move the camera back up. Good gosh.
Let's see.
Nope. Okay.
Wait. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
Oh, wait. Let me go back to where I was. Okay. I'm not touching now.
All right. Okay, you can do whatever you need to do.
Okay.
I was moving something on my end.
Raw. All right. Hold it down. Wait, which way am I going? I think I went the wrong way.
Your mirror image, I think.
Yeah. That messes with my head.
Oh, yeah. Those crazy people and their inverse axes. How about tonight's Thursday night football game? Anyone excited? Not really. 2, I'm pretty sure. Well, I know 1 is definitely in the toilet, and I'm pretty sure the other one's not doing all that well after dropping a game to the Arizona Cardinals, but. Let's see. How fair are they? Oh, no, they're 7-5.
No, I mean, somehow they win the game even though they have like a huge negative point differential.
It's the Patriots that just totally suck.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are basically the University of Iowa Hawkeyes of the NFL.
Only by the time you get to NFL as a coach, like you should know how to do the whole like offense thing. Like you shouldn't have to be told at that point that the strategy of the game is to score more points than the opposition. Like they should actually know this. You would think.
You would think. All right.
Whoa! Where'd the chat go? What did I press, Charlie?
I don't know. I'm not at your computer.
Aha. Okay. Well, this is annoying.
What did you do?
No, it's so during ads, they have the preview thing in the upper right. The ad ended, but the preview is like the last frame before it exited the commercial, and it's just an annoying little frame of us. Awkwardly, whatever.
Oh, hooray!
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Can I just read this meme real quick to you, and then we'll start the show because it's perfect. Aaron Rodgers out. Anthony Richardson out. Deshaun Watson out. Joe Burrow out. Trevor Lawrence out. Have to rely on Tua and Lamar to stay healthy for 2 more full months. Mahomes is about to waltz his way through the playoffs, and we're going to have a Taylor Swift Super Bowl, aren't we?
What are you doing?
Yes, we are.
Besides being a cat. Okay.
What? Being a cat is something different?
Well, you know, yes. I still have to acknowledge and act shocked and appalled whenever she does cat things. It is part of the agreement we have.
So I just want to check the volume levels on one of our streams real quick. So
yes. Oh, excuse me. I'm a little asleep here.
Okay. I do love the delay. So I get to hear Zealeus's yawn in surround sound.
Nice. The best yawn of the entire night.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. Let's do this thing. Muting Zealeus. Well, actually, I have to hit the mute button. There you go. That works. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Dish Shelter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Yo, what's up on this first Thursday of December?
It is the first Thursday of December. Isn't that crazy?
I know. You know what it means? It means we're entering into the Christmas spirit with Christmas trees and Christmas lights. Oh, my.
Oh, my. Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the perfect comer himself, Zealeus.
It is good to see you, good sir.
It's good to be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. At any time during the show, if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, subjects that you would like to add to the show, by all means, drop them in the chat, be it on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. If we do, unfortunately, run out of time, we will add it to the very next show. So without further ado, let us jump into it. All right, the first bit is a bit of sad news, and especially if you live in Japan, and that is that the Nintendo Live 2024 Tokyo event has been canceled. And the reason for this is apparently Nintendo has been receiving a constant stream of threats against their staff and the spectators that were to attend this event. This also means that the scheduled championship tournament for Splatoon and Mario Kart have both been postponed until further notice.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the phrase, "This is why we can't have nice things," comes from.
Agreed.
People being stupid dipwinkles. And for better or for worse, Nintendo's probably doing the right thing here. Taking the security seriously.
Right.
But, why do people just have to be dumb? That's putting it nicely. Come on, people. Get in the happy, happy Christmas spirit or Hanukkah spirit or whatever spirit you have flowing in your veins.
Yeah.
Get in the holiday spirit and don't be a fuckwad. Is that too much to ask? I know the answer to that. It's a rhetorical question. It still just makes me sad.
Yes. It does make me very, very sad. I have to say that, it was, we are basically up to that event. So it was supposed to be in January of 2024. So Nintendo has been trying to, I guess, figure out a way to get this event, but they're finally throwing the towel in. And that's sad because it's always the stuff that would come out of a Nintendo Live event. It's basically like an E3 equivalent, but just for Nintendo.
And these events should be a reason for us all to come together in one spirit of gamesmanship and put all of our silly differences aside for at least one period of time and
Agreed.
Enjoy the camaraderie of gaming and whatever fun fandom you have.
Agreed. So it's sad that we can't have nice things.
And
all right, so
that's why I just stay in my house and don't leave because people suck.
Yes, people do suck. All right, so a bit of news that I thought was totally over, but apparently, what do I know? You know that fun merger we've been talking about forever and a day between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard? The merger that literally has been done and closed and signed and delivered.
Yeah, I thought it was like approved or something.
Yeah, so the FTC is filing a motion to continue to try to block this merger.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Basically, they're still challenging Microsoft's acquisition. Now, of course, there were two other big names that were on the list but have now since, one of them has since gone away, and that, of course, is Sony, because Sony signed the Call of Duty deal with Microsoft. And the FTC will continue to argue that Microsoft could withhold Activision titles from other gaming platforms. And, of course, Microsoft's very well-paid lawyers basically say that this case is weak and lacks evidence of incentive. So we'll see, but...
I mean, I don't know what the incentive part means, but there's tons of precedent of exactly what the FTC is arguing happening throughout the history of every single company ever on the face of mankind, or on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Where that's exactly what happens. But let's be honest, this is going to happen. Like at this point, it's past the hurdles. It's going to happen. For better or for worse, it will happen. And frankly,
it's
I don't really
happened.
give a shit.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's like, at this point, it's like, okay. And I don't give a shit about the Activision titles anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much like, meh.
Ooh, that's a good question. Is there any Activision titles that I actually give a shit about?
And I feel like, exclusives aside, like, it feels like the publishers have kind of come around on like having it released on all three platforms is a good thing. And what they've really moved towards, in large part, are the time-gated releases. So you don't really have nearly as much as the actual, like, Xbox or PlayStation specific releases. They might be in the PlayStation for a year only, or the Xbox only for a year, and eventually they come to the other platforms.
Right.
And that point, I don't really care. Like, I'm like, okay, like at that point, it makes sound strategic business sense. I can't really have an issue with that if that's what they're doing.
Look, I'll fully admit that I am sad when a game that I really want to play is not the first to, it's not on the platform I have first, but everything eventually gets released on everything. So, whoop-de-friggin-do. And just because I was curious, since 2020, here are the Activision titles. Let's see if there's anything that I actually give two rat's asses about. Call of Duty Warzone. Nope. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Nope. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. All right. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Okay. I didn't know that Crash Bandicoot was... Well, I guess they got bought out. Let's see here. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Oh, it must have been different platforms. Okay. Then Tony Hawk again. Call of Duty Vanguard, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Warzone 2.0, Crash Team Rumble, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So, yeah, I'm not really interested in any of those titles.
And even a quick search of like PS5 exclusives,
yeah.
There were ones like Last of Us and God of War Ragnarok. And guess what? Eventually, those come to the PC.
Yep.
Or a game like Final Fantasy 16, I'm sure I'll come to the PC. I know Horizon Zero Dawn was for a long time exclusive. That eventually came to the PC. So, like, both Xbox and Sony do the same thing, where, you know, it's exclusive on the platform, and eventually it's like, hey, let's get it to the PC. I get now releasing it to the other console, like that does make some sense, but it seems like eventually they come to the PC for the most part.
And by the way, Final Fantasy 16 was confirmed by a producer of that title that it is coming to the PC and to expect it sometime in 2024.
Yeah, that's there comes, like, I get the strategy if you want it to be on your console only to start with to drive console sales.
Yep.
But at a certain point, at a year or two, probably lost that advantage. At that point, it does make to release it to the PlayStation, or sorry, PC computer to get those extra sales.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm never a fan of consolidation of the marketplace, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, or as you said, it already has happened. So it's kind of like, whatever. And honestly, when it comes to video games, I've never been. When it comes to monopolies and like the government stepping in or not stepping in, video games have always kind of been the lowest on my priority list because, like, there is a way to enter the marketplace.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy, but like anybody can release a game on the marketplace. It's not like your ISP or something like that where there's no way to enter an entrenched marketplace. Like there's other areas where I'd much rather our stewards look than video games.
And the last thing that Zealeus mentioned as one of the potential, actually not potential, but monopolies in the United States, of course, is ISPs, and they definitely need to be looked up and turned into a utility, in my own opinion.
All of us, every single day of our life.
Exactly. Yes. Oh my God, I can't play the latest Activision game on my PlayStation, which I don't own, but. Oh my God, I can't play it for an extra year versus, oh my God, my ISP can basically rake me over the coals and put whatever price they want to because I've got to pay it because I need internet.
And I have no alternative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is no light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to ISPs. Okay, so speaking of platforms, because we were talking about PlayStation and PC and Xbox and whatnot. There was a question that was asked to me, and I'm going to ask Zealeus this one. That is, if a platform, say Steam, Epic, the PlayStation Network, the Xbox, whatever, were to give you a mystery box game for a heavily discounted price. Basically, it's basically a loot box, but a video game. Would you dip your toe in that pool?
That's a really good question, actually.
I know.
Wow. Okay, I'm assuming the question did not provide these details, but I think there have to be some kind of parameters around what am I going for? Meaning, it's a couple of things like price, and what is the platform and what is the genre, kind of things like that.
Right.
Like there's a lot of big question marks there. It is actually very intriguing. I would say nowadays, more than likely, probably not, only because I don't play video games nearly as much as I used to. It like the amount of hours I devote aren't as large. So like, for instance, like I actually let my PlayStation Now subscription lapse because like there was a time when like for me the subscription service made a lot of sense in terms of what do you get back in return for that investment. It was like, okay, you actually get a lot of games.
Right.
But like I'm still only 20 hours into Hogwarts Legacy. And I've been playing that for like a month. And I feel like I've been playing a lot, but that's only 20 hours in a month. So for a gamer like me, that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, where there's a pretty good chance I'm going to game on not. I mean, when somebody like you and I have such a silly large Steam backlog in the first place.
Right.
But for someone like, especially younger, I could definitely see that being a very interesting idea, to be honest. I used to do the, I forget what it was called, but it was the cat loot box. It was the same exact thing, where you get like a random toy and a random piece of food.
Right.
I know there was a geek loot box that did the same thing, where it was like geeky. Didn't you do that?
That was the indie game box.
Yeah. So yes, like I think it's a cool idea. And like, was it the indie game box? Was that it? Yeah, that was a random video game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a random indie game. Well, no, it wasn't random, but it was. Well, I think they kind of gave you a heads up of what the game was going to be as they were sending it to you.
Yeah, like I remember, like there were some. It wasn't like a totally unknown where you could get like My Little Pony version 4. Like, he kind of had like an idea.
Yeah.
I think for a video game loot box to work, you need some idea, like probably by genre. Like, okay, you're getting like an RPG. I'd be like, oh, okay, that's actually an interesting idea. Versus, you're getting a sports game.
Right.
No thanks. So I think if you had, especially like if it was bigger titles, if you kind of get it more towards what genre, especially because a lot of indie games, I would probably say are more of like the point and click adventure / platformer, maybe a light RPG in there.
Yeah.
You kind of, I mean, obviously you don't know exactly,
Right.
but you have some idea. Like, you're not getting a Madden, and you also know you're not getting probably a giant open world, Assassin's Creed either. You're getting somewhere in between there. Or is there just a random loot box? I don't know. That's kind of a cool idea.
You're right. I wish that I wish I could ask this person for some more details now.
Like, it would have to be probably from a common publisher.
Right. It would have to be from a common publisher. But I would, I know this is probably a crazy idea, but maybe this would work with, let's say if Steam were to do it, and they basically just, they based your personal mystery game off of your basically likes and dislikes from the games that you have purchased in the past, building kind of like, this is going to be in your wheelhouse. So
it's kind of, there is the, what do they call it? It's the Steam stream. It's like recommended games.
Yeah. Well, it's your discovery queue.
Thank you. Yeah. It's kind of like the discovery queue for a loot box.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. In a way, PlayStation kind of, with the PlayStation Now subscription, it kind of actually is that way. Because every month you have like 3 games as a part of it, and you don't know what they are. And generally one's a pretty big title,
right.
Like a known game, not just some random game. So in a way, the PSN already kind of did that. I think that'd be the key to any kind of subscription service. Like, indie box aside, because that was 4 indie games, but it was just like a, Steam box. You probably have to have at least like one big title in there.
Right.
To kind of get people's interest.
Right.
But yeah, I like the idea of using the Steam list as far as like, what is kind of your interest in video games, and they can kind of base it off of that. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I'd be willing to, take it at least for a spin, to be honest with you. Even though Zealeus is absolutely right. I have a hell of a backlog, and I was actually streaming on Tuesday. I'm going to pull up my Steam list here real quick. But I was streaming on Tuesday, and out of the, how do I do this again? I have 624 games attached to my Steam account. And out of those, I have 109 that have never recorded activity.
I have, how many do I have? 193 games in my Steam queue. And I have 68 unplayed.
You're doing better than I am. Or no?
Percentage-wise, I'm worse.
Yeah.
But number-wise, I mean, it makes sense that number-wise, you'd have more than me just because you have a lot more games in your list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupid Steam sales.
10 of these are Proton. I don't even know what that is. I have Proton 3.16, Proton 3.7, and the list goes on. I'm not going to name them all. Don't worry. I have the Source SDK. I have 7 versions of the Source SDK.
Wow.
Sniper Elite, I'm never going to play. Oh, I have the Stream Linux runtime.
Let's see if there's anything in here that...
I have a lot of random shit on my list.
Yeah, I don't have... Well, I mean, I've got random games, but I don't have anything like what you have. Really? Some of these games... What? All right.
There's games in here I know I played. Like, I know I've played Raid. I know I played Anomaly. I know I played Age of Wonders.
It says that Global Agenda has no recorded activity. That's not right. Anyways, moving on.
Ooh. Well, I think the owner of that was just because like they erased everyone's
That's true. That's true.
history, which makes me sad.
All right. So, speaking of video games, because that's what we talk about in the show, I have another question that was asked, and
By the way, sorry, I have 21.4 hours in Global Agenda. Haha.
How many?
Apparently 21.4, so I have hit history.
How do I not? My playtime says 35.7.
Oh yeah, that's what I see. Yeah, I see it.
Huh, weird.
On yours. Interesting. Anyways, you're saying.
Anyways, another question was asked. I'm going through the questions right now, so I make sure that they get covered in the show. And this one is just kind of, I don't know how to best describe this, but I'm just going to ask it. Why do we continue to be so surprised when athletes or celebrities reveal that they like playing video games?
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either, but there are a lot of people going, "What? You play video games?"
It's a thing in the NBA where, like, apparently they all have like NBA
2K.
Or no, football is big with Madden.
Yeah.
Like, apparently a lot of athletes play Madden. Like, that's a huge deal. Where they have like Madden tournaments, like in the locker room.
Yeah.
Which would make sense because like that's the world you're in is sports. So you can kind of play what you're attuned to. I think the funny one I saw, I don't know if you saw it, it was the other day. It was from the Rams. It was Puka asking Cup if he thinks he would be someone who watches anime. So that I would find more surprising. Like, oh, they watch anime. That would be like, okay, that's actually kind of surprising that a NFL, jock watches anime.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm an athlete and I'm traveling all the time, I would think a lot of those guys probably have like a Switch or something, honestly.
Oh God, yes.
For all that travel they do and shit. So that's not surprising at all that they play video games.
Yeah, it's just interesting when you see, I think it's more that, I mean, we are in an age where games are everywhere. They're on your mobile devices, they're on your smart TVs, they're on your PCs, your consoles, everything, your tablets. And so why wouldn't, celebrities and athletes play video games? I mean, it's a form of escapism. And people who are constantly in the spotlight probably need a little escapism in their lives from time to time. I actually read something recently about a famous professional wrestler who finally came back, and I'm surprised he came back because I thought he was basically absolutely 100% broken and was like 2 inches from death. But Randy Orton said that he's been playing a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, as well as he's put in at least 50 hours into Starfield.
And by the way, apparently Global Agenda is back online.
Huh.
I have no idea like what iteration or version or anything like that.
You could see the login screen.
Yeah, but somebody said that like you could access the servers. I'm like, that's interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, especially wrestlers, like they travel all the time too. I mean, on the field, on the road all the time.
Yep.
I totally get it.
Yeah, I don't know why people keep being surprised by the fact that there are people outside of their definition of nerd that play video games. How about that?
Yeah.
That's what I have to say about that. Okay, real quick before I forget, big shout out and congratulations to So Peculiar Games. Their game Bug and Seek is officially out. I finally found out that my email bounced when I was trying to name my rewards for kickstarting kickstart backing.
Kickbacking.
Kickbacking. The game. I finally found I finally found out that my email bounced to him, and so I resent the email. Now I have all my codes. I'm gonna put those bad boys in right after the show, and then of course myself and my youngest son will be playing Bug and Seek.
And it actually has 13 positive reviews on Steam.
It was a fun game. It's just a demo where you didn't really get to do all that much, but I'm excited to give it, a true spin. And then also just a kind of heads up, if you like Slay the Spire, there is a game that they have, like, instead of going the like beta route, they created a game. It's basically a beta of the game. It's called Die in the Dungeon Origins. That's the actual game. Die in the Dungeon is coming out in 2024, but Die in the Dungeon Origins is kind of a Slay in the Spire-esque game, but instead of cards, you deal with dice. You don't get...
It's Dicey Dungeons.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dicey Dungeons meets Slay the Spire.
Interesting. I like Dicey Dungeon. That was a good game. I
decided to take that one for a spin on the last Tuesday, or this past Tuesday. And every single time I went up against that first boss, I got so close the last time, but I couldn't beat him. So
yeah, it's
son of a bitch.
Dicey Dungeon is a tough dungeon crawl, or
yes, that is a tough one. So is Die in the Dungeon. So actually, I opened up most of Dicey Dungeons.
Nice.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, it took a lot of time to do. Anywho, all right. So before we get any further, let's do some shout outs to these amazing individuals that help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion that you love and adore. These, of course, are the friends of the show. So without further ado, let us jump into it and start with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts that challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout out we got to give is to the AV master himself. That, of course, is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously White Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. The next one we got to give a shout out to is an individual who is actually at my house today because, oh my God, was I in need of a good adjustment because apparently after getting my appendix removed and having to walk and basically just recover from it, I was all out of alignment. Ladies and gentlemen, Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, care of expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. Also, if you're quick about it, he is doing he's selling these bundles where you could get a bunch of, you pay a bigger fee up front, but then you get like extra sessions for free as a result, so you save some good money on it. So definitely herochiropractic.com.
Nice.
The next one we got to do is to the music maestro himself, and that, of course, is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content. CrossPad, or like Alter Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. The final shout out we got to give is to the original patron himself, and that, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both the development team and a system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings and many times during, he is the agile evangelist, Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. Also, he has written a book about Agile, so you definitely want to check it out. Go to agileaxiom.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know at this point you're like, oh my God, I have to become a friend of the show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you how you could do that. All you got to do is the following. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Confusion survives the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, swamp creatures, mummies, werewolves, phantasms, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. Currently, we have 2 different tiers. There's the $1 tier, that's $1 a month, or $12 a year, and that gets you early access to our playthroughs as well as the ability to participate in patron-only posts. If you are feeling a little bit frisky, there's the $5 a month. That's $5 a month or $60 a year. Not only do you get everything at the $1 tier, but you also get your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show for every single Thursday Night Hangout. So if you want to become a patron of Ultra Confusion, go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Altered Confusion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know we are quickly approaching the end of the year, but have no fear. Ultra Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 12 straight years. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion. And yes, I'm here to tell you that the 24-hour Game-a-thon is going to happen very soon. So be on the lookout for that. We have not yet met our goal for the year, so hopefully we could get some people to pledge so we could close that gap.
Nice.
Okay, so now, back into the news. All right, first off, this was a little bit of a surprise, maybe for us in the U.S., because although it has nothing to do with the U.S., Twitch has announced that they are going to stop their services in a specific country starting February 27th, 2024. And that country happens to be South Korea. So, basically, that's most of the South Korean streamers that utilize Twitch, which is basically the main streaming platform in the world. They're scrambling for someone to take them on. There are some alternatives, and Twitch is helping those streamers connect with those alternatives to help smooth the transition from one platform to another. But that's really interesting. Out of all the countries, I would not have picked South Korea to be one that would be on the chopping block. I would have chosen like China or North Korea.
Well, one of the big reasons is in South Korea, video broadcasters like Twitch also have to pay the ISPs for delivering content to the end users.
Aha. Well, there
so
it is.
that's what it comes down to. So that's why, like, in the US, there's such a big push for net neutrality because, like me on Twitch, I'm already paying Comcast X amount of money per month to access Twitch.
Right.
Twitch on their end is already paying their ISP X amount of money to deliver content upwards to the magical internet. And basically what Comcast wants is, regardless of whether or not Twitch is their provider, is they also want Twitch and all the companies for that matter to also pay Comcast for delivering their data to my endpoint also on top of what Twitch is already paying to their ISP. So basically they're trying to double it. So that's pretty much what helped also price Twitch out of Korea, was that.
Well, there you go. So
yes, again, ISP is screwing us all over.
Always, always, always.
Yep.
Okay, so another bit of news, and this one, of course, is not really that surprising. That is that CD Projekt Red is completely 100% done with Cyberpunk 2077. After their update 2.1, that, of course, was that was basically the end of a 3-year journey to correct all the wrongs that were there at the beginning. They have now shifted their focus completely onto other projects, mainly the upcoming new Witcher, and also, have no fear, it's not like the Cyberpunk universe is dead. There is a sequel to the franchise, which is currently codename Orion, that is starting to get off the ground.
Cyberpunk 2078.
2079. You got just every 2.
Whoa.
Actually, well, it was a 3-year journey, so maybe it's going to be 2080.
But then you have a year gap of what you give a synopsis. So
2082.
Oh, now we're going off the deep end.
Dun dun dun. Now,
the 100-year anniversary for my birth.
Look, here's the thing. I like the fact that CD Projekt Red stuck around and righted the wrongs and ironed out the kinks and got the game to where it was supposed to be. That is commendable. And
I mean, yeah, they could have easily just left it in the technically playable state it was.
Yeah, because technically it was playable. You could play it, and they could have just moved on. But they decided that they owed it to all those people out there to create the product that they deserved. Also, I think that CD Projekt Red was also banking on the fact that this was going to be the first of many Cyberpunk games. So if that game was absolute trash, which it wasn't total trash, but it was pretty bad when it first released, it would be really hard to build off of that in comparison to what Cyberpunk is now, and trying to build off of the current iteration of Cyberpunk. So
what they need in the future is just call it early access.
Yeah. Permanent early access.
That's kind of what you see a lot of in games.
Well, I mean, that's really what AAA titles do is they release a game and then you have day 1 or day 0 patches to hopefully fix things for good, or it could be there's many games out there that promised a lot of features and then reneged on them at the last minute because they had a launching deadline, and then some companies make good on adding those features back, and other companies basically shit the bed. So
here's the question, though. So when the next game comes out, I'm guessing it's going to be Witcher 4.
Yep.
Are you going to be like, well, this is going to be another Cyberpunk situation, and it's just going to be buggy as hell when it comes out? Or option B, well, even if it's buggy, at least with Cyberpunk, they fixed them. So I'll just get it and hope for the best.
I think because they've switched over to a more mainstream graphics engine this time around. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. I think that it'd be more optimistic that we wouldn't have to revisit the Cyberpunk 2077 ordeals. I don't know if I would be, unless there's something mind-blowingly amazing that I see in like some trailers or something. I don't think the next Witcher will be a day 1 purchase for me as of now. That of course could change, but I will probably at some point pick up Witcher 4, just so that I can say that I have played that one too.
Nice.
Since I've already played all the other ones.
What was your favorite one of the three?
It's kind of funny. I kind of like the first one the best.
Mm.
I think the thing is, in 2 and 3, in some regards, I feel like they tried to make it more like mass appealing. Like in the first one, you could definitely see that European kind of flair, where we as Americans are prudes. We scare easily when there's anything close to nudity. Now, violence, we'll take that all day. But my God, you accidentally show a little bit, like a side butt cheek or something, and the U.S. goes nuts. And in the first Witcher, I mean, there's some very racy stuff with the ladies. So, that's not why I liked the first one, but I liked. I mean, that didn't hurt.
It added to the overall ambiance.
Exactly. I think it's because it's the first Witcher. It was new to me, and I didn't know what to expect. So I had zero expectations. So then when it comes to the second one and the third one, I already had some expectations. And so, they probably met exactly where they're supposed to. So it didn't hold that big of a spot in my mind.
That's a fair way of putting it. Just a shiny new toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of like Mass Effect 1 when it first came out.
Oh,
like
God, yeah.
2 and 3 might be better in some ways, many ways, but there's something that first time playing Mass Effect 1 and all the craziness.
Yeah.
Definitely holds a special place in the heart.
Well, everyone would say that 3 was the lesser of all of them because of several things. One, the ending, which I really didn't care. Like the ending was fine for me, but the thing that really hurt my feelings about Mass Effect 3 was the stupid online bullshit that you had to do to get that 100% completion.
Yeah. So what happens now if you play Mass Effect 3? Can you still do the online stuff to get the 100% war?
I don't know. I just ignored that section when I played it again.
Oh, so did I. 100%. I didn't get to 100% because I 100% ignored the online part.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, thankfully, at least you could still have no issue beating it without doing the online.
Yes.
Like it didn't really adversely affect your war effort in the game. Now, if they really wanted to be dicks, and this is something like an Activision would have done, is in order to like successfully win the war with no issues, you would have had to do online play.
Yeah.
Then there would have been major problems. Yeah. But hey, Mass Effect 4 is coming out eventually.
I'm excited for that. Hopefully, I mean, Mass Effect has always gotten a little bit more love than Dragon Age. I just the rush job that they did on Dragon Age 2 still hurts me to this day.
I like Dragon Age 2 much more than you did.
The problem is I'm OCD, okay? So I like they removed all of the exploration outside the city. It's the same fucking dungeon. And they just flipped or mirrored it. And then on the maps, they didn't even have the decency to change the fucking maps. All they did was they put unbreakable stone over entrances that were not part of that specific area. But on the mini map, you could see that there's a door there, but you can't get through it because there's unbreakable stone there. And that
you also literally just described Mass Effect.
Not necessarily.
They pretty much do the same thing.
Well, okay, here's the deal. The difference between what Mass Effect did and what Dragon Age did is Dragon Age just put rocks in the opening. Mass Effect just had doors that you just couldn't open. There are doors there.
Oh, good Lord, it's the same thing.
You're like, okay, it's a locked door.
A door is just a re-engineered piece of rock.
No, it's not oh my God. No, it's not.
It's like stacked rocks. It's a door. Rocks on the ground. You just don't have the jump button to get over the rocks.
No, I'm not having this argument. No, Zealeus, that's stupid.
Yes, you're right. Not being able to jump over rocks is stupid. I agree. It annoys me.
Oh my God, dude, speaking of rocks you couldn't jump over, Horizon Zero Dawn, which was a phenomenal game, but there were certain things like I can easily make this jump, but you can't make the jump. no matter how hard you try.
Okay, I know it's been a while since you played it, but Hogwarts Legacy does the same damn thing, where there's the jumps onto like high ledges, and like it's funny because normally your character only can jump like a foot, like a normal human being, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, your character can jump like 5 feet in the air.
It's like all of a sudden, they're like NBA basketball players.
Yeah, so like, wait a second, why couldn't I jump that high like 3 feet over? Nope, I can only jump in this one exact place, really fucking high.
Yep.
Like, okay, so I mean, I get it. It's a video game. Like, you have to have boundaries. So like, I'm not actually bashing a game because of that. It's just funny to me to point it out, some of those discrepancies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, but there's so many games that are like that. I mean,
it does kind of annoy me in Mass Effect you can't jump because like you're basically mutant.
Yeah.
And you can't jump.
Yep.
Like, I get it from a developer perspective, you had to do it, otherwise that's a whole lot of extra shit you had to do.
Yep.
But it is a little bit of immersion breaking sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so the other story that we have here is the fact that a very controversial mod for Baldur's Gate 3 has been completely banned. And it was basically the anti-LGBTQ plus mod. And the developers had this in response for the ban, and that was, we are for inclusivity, we are for diversity. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity and or diversity, then we will take action against it. The same goes for people attempting to troll other users with mods deliberately to cause a rise, which I think is the right stand. But of course, saying that and doing that, you know that there's going to be a bunch of uniquely mental individuals out there who are going to make it their life's purpose to try to find ways to put even worse mods onto the game now.
Look, in real life, I'm all for LGBT2. I get all the letters mixed up, rights. Like, marijuana, etc. In this case, this is one I don't agree with because it goes both ways. Where if mod creators want to be able to create a mod because there's so many mods out there that do the reverse. I go from basically whether straight relationships to have gay relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If a player, for whatever reason, backwards though it may be, wants to do the reverse, we're like, oh my gosh, I'm offended by the gay romance. I want to have a straight romance. Okay, go for it. This is one where I think I just don't agree with the removal of this mod because there's so many mods that go the other way, which I'm totally cool with. Then it should be able to go both ways in a way. I don't know. I just don't agree with this one personally. That's just kind of how I look at it, but I also don't run Nexus mod.
No, I think everyone is. I think that everyone is entitled to play the game in their own way. I think that when it comes to mods, I mean, yes, freedom of expression, all that stuff. Now, if it is like outright anti, and so that I don't get all the letters messed up, I'm actually looking at the
like, I guess, like, does it actually say when you're playing the game, like, we hate gays?
Right.
Versus just changing the relationship. My understanding is, granted, I've not played the mod, so I could very well be wrong, is it's just changing the relationship from being gay to straight, or I guess lesbian technically, whatever it was, to straight. Which to me is very different than actually vocally saying anything, because they never had any problems with the other way around on the mods.
So basically, from my understanding, what this mod does is that it, if there is like a romantic history between like NPCs and whatnot, that the gender of one of the romantic partners is changed so that it is strictly heterosexual. And some other stuff here.
Yeah.
That's I mean, look. The name of the mod is called No Alphabets. Just so you know.
Okay. I mean, they probably could have picked a bit of a less controversial name, potentially, or because when you say no alphabet in a name, that does speak to an agenda. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, for better or for worse, the developer or publisher, whomever is hosting where all these mods are sitting after you've toiled away for your bajillion hours, it's still a modification that's being added to their intellectual property. So technically, they could, shut everything down if they wanted to, or they could pick and choose.
No, I mean, yeah, like, I'm not saying that they should be forced to add the mod back. I mean, no, like, yeah, it's their website. I just think it's a bit.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's my best way to do like an analogy or a comparison is if you were to take a movie and you recut it so that it removed all the stuff that you did not believe in, and then you allowed everyone to view you made that version of the movie available.
Okay, yeah, actually, there is actually, it was always being advertised on my Facebook, probably because of some people I follow, where it's called like Angel Films or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it does exactly that. I remember some of the movies were like John Wick.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the hell is there to watch in John Wick if you cut all of the naughty stuff? Like, that is the movie. And they have like all these movies where it's like they're pure action movies. And they advertise like, we cut all the action and violence from this movie.
No, we cut all the violence out of this. And of course, all the action is, it's attached to the violence, but we're not going to tell you.
Yeah, and I'm like, what?
Okay,
yeah, so
Sam, yes, Han shot first.
Wow, Sam. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, seriously.
Jeez.
I've always wondered, like, what is the actual like IP, like copyright on doing that? Not what we're talking with mods, but like Angel Videos that actually takes that and resplices movies. I can't imagine that's actually technically legal.
I don't know. I would think that they would have to like basically give a huge cut to the studios. But what about the royalties to the actors? Let's say that their recut basically took a specific actor completely out of the film. Are they owed any royalties for the sales because they're no longer in the film?
That's a great question.
Oh God, my brain is hurting now.
You'll have to ask Han.
Yes. I still don't understand why Lucas recut that stupid scene. Whatever.
Everything I understand about the first three Star Wars movies is like Lucas basically had the overarching idea of the space opera, and basically everyone else basically told him to rein it in and don't be a dumbass. In large part.
Right, but the thing was that when those three were released, they were fine on their own, and then what was it, like in the 90s, Lucas went back and recut it so he could remove the mystique and mystery of who shot first? Why?
Yep.
Why?
And that was the problem. It's like the first three, that didn't happen because people reined him in, but then he became George effing Lucas so he could do whatever he wanted. And managed to make what's her name look like a terrible actress.
Which
Princess?
Natalie Portman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because her script was so bad.
She didn't have a script.
Well,
it was just little bird scratches. She had to figure out what the hell they were talking about.
Yeah.
Anywho. No, yeah, also, speaking of mods, you can still make mods for Skyrim, and as long as you don't utilize AI in creating those mods, you, my friend, could put your mod up for sale and turn a profit. But there cannot be any AI assistance in the mod.
What is this, 10 years later, and they're trying to re-implement paid mods again?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know.
So is using ChatGPT to help me code my mod, is that considered AI assistance?
Absolutely.
Or using Copilot, which is like basically built into VS Studio nowadays. Is that considered AI?
Yes, you have to do it by punch card, motherfucker.
Can I at least use Vim?
Nope. Punch card.
Not even Vim. Oh, well, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
You're going to eliminate a... What about COBOL? Can I use COBOL?
Pascal.
All right, there we go. You just want some of that cut.
Of course I do. I've got some Pascal still rattling around in my brain, I'm sure, somewhere.
I thought I remember you learned that at one time in your life.
Yeah, COBOL, Pascal, VB, and a bunch of other things. I never learned Fortran, though. Sorry.
Amateur.
I know.
What about assembly?
Depends on the assembly. I learned MIPS, which was the Motorola version of assembler. Booyah! Such a nerd.
I expect you to program in binary.
Oh, Lord. No. I don't, please, binary. I program in octal.
Wow. Your CPU must have an 8-bit floater.
Shazam. And now that we've lost the entire audience.
Yesterday. It was fun.
Huh?
I just watched that movie yesterday.
Which one?
Shazam.
Oh, nice.
It's a fun movie.
Let's see if they've posted any of the who's won the awards now.
For
it's the video game awards tonight.
No,
their sites crashed.
It's not December 31st. How do you give awards when you still have 23 days left in the bloody month?
Let's see here.
It's just not right, man.
Have they actually updated anything? Because it started. Oh, here we go. Best VR AR game of the year goes to Resident Evil Village. Innovation and accessibility, Forza Motorsports. Best action game of the year goes to Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
Okay.
Best family game goes to Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Of course, exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. Let's see here. Best esports athlete. Faker, which I know the name. I don't remember what all he's attached to, but out of all these names, Faker, I do recognize Faker. The best esports coach. Really? Wow, this is getting deep. I have no idea. Potter. Sure. Best esports event. This is going to come as no surprise, but is the 2023 League of Legends World Championship.
By the way, Faker is League of Legends.
Uh-huh.
He's been playing since 2013, like professionally.
Yeah.
You know what impresses me most is that like his wrist still works.
What's up, Farsh
Farsh
and
Chops?
Chops?
It's like my hand gets like tired in carpal tunnel from like an hour of video games. And
Yep.
that's being like slow old man. So playing as fast as like those guys have to play with their like clicks per minute and everything, like that's part of like, I guess, the longevity of any sport technically
Yeah.
is like physical ability to not fall apart on the job.
Anyways, the best esports game of the year goes to Valorant.
Could you be a best game of the year if you've been out for like previous years? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would guess it's just. I mean, the thing is,
Like that seems like a cop out. Like if it's the same game and it's not like an expansion.
well, no. Well, the thing is with Valorant. Okay, so the ones that they listed are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, and Valorant. Now, I could argue. I could argue that some of these games I don't think should be on the list, but at the same time, Valorant is constantly getting updates and you know, so and there's content and there's events and all that stuff. And just for those who are wondering why Zealeus is giggling, an individual just asked if we were wondering if we were father and son. I'm hoping that you're saying that the guy in the fedora, Zealeus over here, is my dad and not the other way around.
I shaved, so I think I'm actually this one tonight.
Anyways.
That's actually a new question. I've not seen that one. Thank you, Thank you, Farsh.
Yes, we have not had that one yet. But anyways, I don't know if a game is getting constantly updated, especially in the esports arena, in a competitive gaming type of situation, I think it should still be, it should be allowed to regain or continue to win awards. I'm assuming that Valorant probably won more than one.
Esports games to win the title instead of the same old retreads. Like that sounds like a list we could have read 3 years ago for esports games. It would have been the same exact list.
Let me see here. The game awards winner.
Are you looking at previous years now?
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm guessing League of Legends has won it. PUBG's probably won it.
Okay, so I don't want the BAFTA awards. Nope, I don't want the DICE awards. Good Lord. I definitely went the wrong way on this one because I'm getting like all the awards and none of the game of.
Oh well, I mean it's obvious that it does have to be a game released that year for them to give the award.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to do a much deeper dive in order to find that out.
All right. So what other awards we got?
Let's see if there's any other awards that they've handed out yet. Hold on, I've just got to refresh here. So okay, so they have it. Of course, the big one is going to be Game of the Year, and the ones up for the award are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's
going to be Alan Wake 2.
I thought it was going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep, I just have a feeling Alan Wake 2. That's my gut.
And then,
has the action next.
You got best game direction, best narrative, best. Oh, here we go. We got another one. Best art direction goes to Alan Wake 2.
Is it as pretty as it the award
looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and it freaks me out. One of the game mechanics to kind of advance the storyline, where it's like this case board type of situation. You go into your mind palace or your mind room, whatever you want to call it, and you basically utilize the wall of the room, and you lay out all the clues, and then you draw your conclusions and all that stuff, and it helps advance the story. If you do not do that, you cannot advance the story. So you have to go into your mind palace. And sometimes it's not obvious that you need to do it. And then you're stuck in an area going, what the shit am I supposed to do now? And then finally, out of sheer desperation, you go into your mind palace and you check your case files, and all of a sudden you see a little indicator on your case files going, there's new information you can play with. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
And there was no other indicator that there was that. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so we would talk about the best esports game of the year, right? But then here's the best ongoing game.
Yeah, but I'm guessing those are all MMOs.
The best ongoing game is Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
Wait, how does Cyberpunk fit into that? I mean, I get that they've
been evolving for 3 years. We just did a story on this, Zealeus.
No, I get that. Okay. I guess how do you define ongoing? Because technically a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake just got a patch. So does that mean it should have also been up for the award if it got a patch?
I don't think so. I don't think it's more of a patch. I think it's with Cyberpunk 2077, there was actual content, being involved instead of just we fixed it so that this monster would not hit you.
But it sounds like that should basically be the esports one, like in terms of ongoing game.
Right.
Because you had PUBG in there and Apex Legends. To me, Final Fantasy 14 better win that because that had the best expansion of any video game ever in the form of Endsinger or Endbringer, Endwalker.
Sam, you could just keep dreaming about that Battlefield 1, man. It's yes, it got patched, but not Game of the Year.
I'm pretty sure Sam has his own list of awards.
Yes, I'm sure. Best debut indie game. The winner was a game called Cocoon, which I actually have on my wish list. The best ongoing game, chess. No, it's tic-tac-toe, dude.
No, they should actually do that one year. Just totally just troll everyone and give it to something like chess or checkers or something and just say whatever his reaction is.
I wonder, okay, so in the best debut indie game was also Dredge, which I really need to write the review for, by the way. But it did not win because, of course, Cocoon won, which now I've really got to check it out since it won. But I wonder how close it was. Best mobile game of the year goes to Honkai Star Rail. It beat out Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil.
None of which I played. I have not played a mobile game on my phone.
I played Monster Hunter Now. It's basically like Pokemon Go, but for Monster Hunter. It was interesting. The problem was that I played it mostly when I was in Europe, so I was at the mercy of airport Wi-Fi, and trying to mess around with that was not as
because it's an AR game like Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. And I did finally remove it from my phone because I just don't do that at all.
Yep, I hear
that. Let's see here. Nope, I'm not seeing any other ones. So we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways.
So what is your game of the year?
Or
should we actually wait till the end of the year, the last show before the year to announce?
But as of right now, I would say the game that I have enjoyed the most. How about that? The game that it doesn't matter if it came out this year or not, but the game that I have enjoyed the most this year, I would say, would probably be, I think it's going to be Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's going to be Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
Yes. Did I lose my shit a couple times during the game? Absolutely. But at the same time, now that being said, it could my mind could change if once I really jump in further into Alan Wake 2. But I felt that Tears of the Kingdom it's probably the best game that I've played this year.
Nice.
Now, I know that some people are probably wondering what is going to be the next early access playthrough from Alter Confusion, and as of right now, it is going to be the Telltale Expanse series.
Ooh.
I've actually recorded, I think, the first 4 episodes of it. I just need to render it and chop it into bits, and then I can give it to those wonderful people that are patrons for Alter Confusion.
Nice.
But also, funny story, since we're running out of time, or we're getting close to the end, but so, months ago, when the infamous Stadia finally closed down, there was, of course, the story that came out about a bunch of the games that were exclusive to the Stadia and what would happen to them. Would they appear on different platforms? And, of course, the answer is yes. The developers were allowed to push their content onto different platforms because they should be able to make more money, even if Google decided Stadia not really all that awesome.
Yep.
So one of the games that was there that I totally blanked out on, and I actually came across it on Steam, and I was like, I kind of remember this game. I don't know why, but I'll go ahead and buy it. And it is a game called, let me make sure that I get this right here. It is called Gylt, Gylt.
Okay.
And it is a pretty solid game. It is, let me read you the little blurb here from Steam. Shape your fears. Fear the shapes. Embark on a journey where you face your worst fears and are confronted with the emotional impact of your actions in this narrative adventure game with puzzles, stealth, and action. Yes, I know. Stealth. Gasp. Charlie? No way. But so far, so good. To be honest with you, it kind of like, I haven't played too much of the game, but like the early goings of the game kind of remind me a little bit of like if you were to take Alan Wake, the original Alan Wake, and make it more kid-friendly, more like Monsters Under the Bed type of situation, because you can burn the monsters away with your flashlight, which is one of the main mechanics in the original Alan Wake. That's not to say that mechanic has been done away with. That is very much still there in Alan Wake 2. Believe me.
Just don't let your batteries die.
Yes, Jesus. Oh my God. The amount of that is the one resource that you constantly have to keep an eye on is, do you have enough batteries? Or are you going to have to just hoof it and pray that you make it through?
Sounds a little too close to real life.
Agreed. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached the end of our show, unfortunately. Now, of course, we do this every single Thursday, and if Charlie was an actual smart person, instead of just publishing the podcast on Podbean and the video on YouTube, you've actually posted it on the website, which I just double-checked, and I did not do that yet for last week's show. Then, yeah. Anyways, if you're interested in getting basically through the backlog, you can always check out any of your podcast-friendly platforms. I'm sure we're almost on all of them. It's the Alter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. If you want to watch the video, if you need to see our beautiful faces while we talk, you can always go to youtube.com/Altered Confusion LLC, and they are all there in a nice little playlist. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Alter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you the camera heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Alter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.